Right, well, Grathia has just completed his press conference. He's given a couple of caveats there about what he's going to do for the Fulham game. More on that coming up in this video, which incidentally has taken me quite a long time to record and has happened over several different times of the day today. So you'll see that as you go along. If you want further information, you can read the description, and we'll talk a little bit more about Fulham versus Leeds from Craven Cottage. I've said it before this week that I think part of our problem is that there's a bit of arrogance creeping in. I also believe that Grathia's authority as the manager is undermined by the fact that he's on this temporary game-by-game contract and Leeds can finish him at any point they like. I personally hope that that doesn't happen. I think he's done really well for us since starting. He's managed to turn things around somewhat with regards to actually picking up points, which is something that under Jesse Marsh we weren't doing at all. We should try solving that now by offering him something a little bit longer term, a 1-year contract, and then at least the players have a little bit of certainty about who's going to be leading the team over the next 12 months. And that needs to be extended by however long it is, so that he gets the end of this season in plus the full season next season. So however long that may well be, at least a 12-month contract is required, I think, to shore up the players and show a little bit of stability and show confidence from the owners and the sporting director. We all know who those people are, in the manager, that he is the right man to guide us to safety this season. And hopefully, if he can bring in some decent signings over the transfer window, next season we should look a little bit more comfortable. Well, we are disastrous when it comes to travelling to London, and Fulham aren't that bad when they are at home, and they aren't that bad when they're at home against Leeds. Having a little look at this one, following their 3-2 win at Elland Road in October, Fulham are looking to complete the league double over us for the first time since 1959-1960 season. I mean, this is ridiculous, isn't it? That year we were relegated from the top flight. Oh, God. We won this fixture in 2020-2021, but haven't won consecutive visits at Fulham since a run of 3 between 1953 and 1956, and we were in the second tier, both teams, at that point. A lot of these are going back a very, very long time, but Fulham have lost their last 2 Premier League games at home, as many as they had in the previous 9, so that's winning 4 and drawing 3. Their 5 home league defeats this season have come either against London derby teams such as Spurs, Arsenal, West Ham, or against teams in the top 4, Newcastle and Man United. So it's going to be a very tall order for Leeds to go there and get something. I'm remaining quietly confident, though, now that Mitrovic is out. It means that a threat is missing from their side. It seems Dan James has risen to the occasion following that ban for Mitrovic, and I always rated Dan James. I hope we don't sell him. They are in 10th place in the Premier League at the moment. We are sitting in 16th place. They have had a poor run of results in the last 5, only winning once in their previous 5 games. Leeds, on the other hand, have won 2 in the previous 5 games. They are 13 points ahead of us, and we cannot allow this lot the opportunity to beat us 3 times in one season. It's just not on. So Grathia, in my opinion, is going to have to come up with something to try and stop this Fulham side from getting anywhere near us in the final third, stop them from supplying the forwards, and stop them from dominating the midfield. These are all things which we are capable of doing. We've seen it in the last 2 games. We actually haven't done too badly against Crystal Palace in the first half, and the same against Liverpool in the first half. It's just that second half when the lads have come back out, we've just fallen apart. I can't understand it. I can't put my finger on it. Is there something more going on in that dressing room than we know about? Are there words being said? Is there a falling out? Is there some sort of lack of communication? And where is the leadership? So to solve those problems, I'm going to show you my lineup for this weekend's fixture against Fulham. I'm pretty confident that if we start with this, I think we can go there and get a result. But it's up to Grathia at the end of the day. Let me know in the comments what you think. Do you agree with my lineup or don't you? Did a couple of Fulham games, and a few of the highlights seem to show that they like attacking down the wings. I seem to think that they did that last time when we played them, and on the last couple of occasions. People to watch, of course, Dan James scored a goal against Everton, Pereira, Willian, and they've got a couple of other players as well that are well worth keeping an eye on, because I expect their defenders to make runs up against our left back and right back. So I imagine that that's what they're going to try and do, is when we do lose possession, is that they're going to try and double up on us, possibly even triple up on us, and do what Liverpool, Crystal Palace and others have done to us this season. So it's important that we recognise that defending is going to be an important part of winning any game, as we already know. I've gone for a 4-4-2 formation here. I think that Christensen is still a little bit better option than Ayling at the moment. Somerville on the right hand side, Sinistera and Firpo on the left hand side, and those two are going to have to be close together when possession is lost against Fulham. So they're going to have to tuck in here and make sure that they're almost forming a back six line. Rocker and Giabi, I've gone for Giabi. I really want to see Giabi have some minutes for us in the middle of the park. I want to see what he's all about. I've seen plenty of other things about him when he's played for England. There's lots of good stuff coming from him in the development squads, etc. So Giabi's going to have to make a start for me. No place for Jack Harrison. I think that Jack Harrison defensively can be a little bit of a liability for us. There have been a couple of occasions where Jack's got caught a little bit short. Perhaps we need to freshen things up a little bit. Maybe start without Jack Harrison, stick him on the bench. I've also gone in the back two pairing of Koch and Cooper. My preferred choice would be for Werber to start for us on Saturday, and I would probably like to see him in place of Robin Koch. Robin has played a lot of football for us this season, and perhaps he is in need of a bit of a break, a little bit of a rest, maybe a little bit of fatigue or exhaustion creeping in to his game. So it might be worth giving Robin a little break, or put him on the subs bench in case there is an issue during the match. Grathia has more or less confirmed that Werber will be starting for us during this game. When they do turn over possession, or at least if we do win possession, we can't allow Christensen to be going up into areas like this, or Firpo to be going up into areas like this. We have to be making a choice. It's either one or the other, or none at all. Quite often, and I saw this with Leeds in the last game we played against Fulham, the right back and left back players were heading all the way up the pitch. Pereira was lurking on the halfway line, and Fulham literally just smashed the ball straight up the middle of the park, and he was clean through against Meslier. That can't be allowed to happen at this level, and if that is what is allowed to happen, we're going to get punished. During that particular match, I remember Cooper was stood sort of over here, and Koch was just literally on his own against Pereira, and he got absolutely skinned. So Leeds have to be really, really careful about going forward and making sure that we don't overcommit. It is something that we've seen time and time again, and it's something that I want us to stamp out on. I do expect that he's going to start Nonto again from the bench. I think he's going to use him more of an impact player. Hopefully he'll get him on the pitch a little bit earlier than he has done in previous games, and he has said that he's tried to protect him a little bit more because he is a young player, and we can't just stick all the pressure of the club on that one player as a 19-year-old and expect him to come up with the goods every single game. Doesn't work like that. because we know what will happen is if he puts Nonto on from the start, he's going to get doubled up on, tripled up on when he's in advanced positions for us. Right, well, that brings to a head this match preview. I hope you enjoyed it. Perhaps you agree with me, disagree with me. Let me know what you think in the comments. Also, it'd be really kind of you if you press the subscribe button. It's free. You might also want to smash that like button as well. I'm going to leave a recommendation from YouTube up here just for you. Thank you so much for watching, matching on together, and let's all hope and pray for a victory on Saturday. I'll put a YouTube short out and let you know what my final thoughts are on this prediction, scoreline prediction, etc. See you there.